Hey there, and welcome back to the second episode. So last session we went through kind of the principles of Pilates and went through kind of a warm-up stage. So hope you learned lots from that, and we're going to now build on that this week. So we're going to first of all take ourselves down onto our backs. Okay, we're just going to work on our breathing now and our kind of different pelvic positions here. Okay, so what I want you to do is just do that little bit of a pelvic tilt, just rocking it back and forth, just kind of warm up that lower back, and then find that midpoint, so that neutral, where we've got the nice flat pelvic, pubic bone, hip bones, they're all kind of nice and flat parallel to the floor, and you might have that little gap underneath your back. So in that position, I just want you to take some nice deep breaths. So we're breathing in through the nose, expanding this rib cage, and then as we exhale, we're just gently pulling up that pelvic floor, which is going to activate our abdominals as well. So we're going to draw those abdominals towards our spine, but without pushing that back into the mat. So if you want to put your hands there, feel free to do that. So we're breathing in, nice big breath in, and then exhale. Draw the pelvic floor in and the abdominals, drawing in but not pushing into that hand. Okay, so just give me a few of those. Okay. Okay, take that hand out. You're going to take the arms overhead. And I want you to exhale as you take your arms overhead. So we're doing an exhale, drawing everything in. And then inhale, bring them back into the centre. You can take them down to the ground if you wish. So you can take them all the way over, exhale. And inhale. So as I said in the last session, our abdominals are connected to our rib cage. So when we're lifting up and over, we're drawing our abdominals in, we'll keep our ribs from lifting up. So when we take our arms overhead, we're not doing this. We've got everything's kind of down. Okay, so take a few more deep breaths. And last one. Okay, you're going to take it into a hip roll. Now this is a glute bridge, but where we're curling our way up. So we're working through kind of articulation of our spine. So for this, what I want you to do, we're breathing out as we then push our back down into the ground. We come through that imprint, we lift that tailbone up off the mat, and we come into this nice straight line from our knee to our shoulder. And then from here, we curl our way back down. So we're drawing the rib cage, the sternum in, rib cage down, and gradually getting back to our neutral. So we're exhaling as we curl up, all the way up. We inhale at the top, and then we exhale as we come back down. Okay? Going back, pushing in with the whole of the foot. And just really checking in with your back and seeing where those clunky bits are, where maybe needs a little bit of attention. Go a little bit slower through those bits. And then we're going to add our arms. So you're going to come up into your glute bridge, so come all the way up. And then we're going to take our arms, we're going to exhale as we take our arms overhead. And then bring them back down on our inhale. And then curl ourselves back down again. Okay, so we exhale, we curl up. Inhale to hold. Exhale as we take those arms overhead. Inhale to take them back down. And then exhale, curl through that spine. Okay, we'll do one more. Curl all the way up. Lifting those arms overhead, and I'll bring them back down, and then curl over and back down. Okay, the next one you're going to stay up there. So I'm going to curl all the way up, and then we're going to do our taking arms over our head and then bring back down, but keeping that bum lifted. Okay, so we push through the balls of your feet and the toes. Exhale as we come over, keep those hips lifted, keep that bum squeezed. And then we'll take one last one. And then curl your way back down again. Lovely. Okay, hopefully we feel a little bit of a burn in the old glutes there. Okay, the next one, I want you to think about the breathing that we want to do for our imprint. So this is where we've got our back kind of down, our stomach's flat, but our back's a little bit more down towards the mat. We're not ramming it in, pushing it in violently. We're just using that stomach strength to push our back down. So I want you just to do it again, just some regular breaths there again. So nice big exhale. Push that back down. Again, you can pop your hand down if you wish. Push into that hand. And one more. Okay, right. We're going to take it into our tabletop. So again, draw the abdominals in to your imprint, your exhale, lift your leg, lift your leg. Okay, so we should be at kind of right angles. So you've got right angle there and a right angle here, okay? And from here, we're just going to lengthen out our legs. So one of our legs at a time. So you're going to lengthen out on a diagonal, bring it back in. So an exhale, and back in. Okay, and how low you go really depends on how well you can keep control of those abdominals and that back arching. So if you're going down here and this is what's happening, this arch is coming up, then your stomach is not strong enough to, or you're not controlling your stomach enough to hold on to that connection. So take it a little bit more on our diagonal, okay? But you just go to wherever you feel is appropriate. Okay, and then if you want a little bit more, you're going to take your hands behind your head, just to the base of your spine, and the base of your neck, sorry. And we're going to lift up and we're going to do the same thing. So exhale. Remembering we're keeping that right angle there, so we're trying not to bring our knees in each time. Probably last one on each leg. And then lower them down one at a time and lower your head down. Okay. Alright, so our next one, we're going to keep our feet on the ground and you're going to have the hands behind the head again. And we're just going to do our prep. So we're going to nod our head and then we're going to lift up, look through our knees. Inhale to hold, exhale to lower it down. We did this last time. So when we did this one, we are drawing our abdominals in towards that spine, but we're not pushing that back down into the mat, so we're staying in that neutral because we have our feet on the floor still. Lovely. Two more. One more. Okay, keeping those hands there. You can do a similar sort of thing, but we're just going to go on a little bit of an angle, so we're going to work our obliques here. So we're going to lift up into the centre and lower back down again. So just do one each side. So lift and lower it back down again. Lovely. So lift. Make sure you've got that neck's not strained. We haven't got it rammed into our chest and we haven't got it up here. We need to be looking forward, look at our knees. One last one. And then back down. Excellent. Okay, all right, so we're going to come up to seated. All right, so we're going to go into some rollbacks. So we're going to sit up nice and tall to start with. You've got your feet about hip width apart again, but your feet keep your feet on the floor. So we're going to have our arms out to the front, and we're going to exhale as we curl through the pelvis. So just roll through, come to kind of neck line. We inhale there, and then we exhale, keeping that stomach drawn in as we come forward. So with that exhale, we're doing that pulling in of the pelvic floor and drawing in those abdominals. So we hold for a second on the inhale. So as you can see, my back's kind of curved the whole time. Okay? I'm not straightening up. Really use that exhale to suck that stomach in, to really draw yourself forward. And what I also see a lot of is that people's shoulders suddenly come up to their ears with this one. So really think about drawing those shoulders back. One last one. And relax, shake those arms out. Right, we're going to go on to all fours now. So here we're going to have our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees under hips. So I'm just going to tuck in a little bit. Easier to see me. Okay, so from here we're just going to do a little bit of protraction. So I think last time we were on our back, we were reaching, if you remember, we were reaching up to the ceiling, arching through our shoulder blades there. So we're going to do the same thing, but in an all fours position. So we're going to, keeping the rest of the back still, you're going to inhale as you almost kind of push the ground away from you, and then come back into that neutral. So it's only this bit that should be working, so we don't want to be kind of arching through the middle of the back as well, okay? So inhale, just those shoulder blades. Oh, breathing the wrong way there, sorry, don't listen to me. Inhale as we go up, exhale down. Last one. Okay, from here, making sure those shoulders are away from the ears, we're going to reach out your arm, slide it along, and then we're going to lift and reach. So you've got your palm kind of facing upwards. And then we lower down, slide it back in. So we lengthen it forward, and then rotate as we lift. So you should feel this all the way down your arm and down the front of your torso. So we lengthen out, and we lift. We'll try, as you can see, I'm not trying to move my arm, I'm not sinking, so like my shoulder here is a lot lower than the other one, so we're trying not, we're not trying to reach as far as possible, we're just going as far as we can before that shoulder starts to drop, and then we're lifting up and reaching forward. Okay. So again, we're not just letting that stomach hang out as well, we're drawing those abdominals in gently. Okay, and you can add on a leg at this point. So you're going to lengthen out the arm and the leg at the same time, and then we lift at the same time. Okay, we hold for a few seconds, and then we lower it back down, and we slide it in. Now I always suggest that people slide along the floor first, get the balance, and then lift. Okay, and hold, and then lower it back down. Slide it back in, and you want to be nice and slow and controlled for the whole of this. So we're not doing this, you're not really going to get much from that, if I'm honest. Okay, so we need to do it nice and slow, control it, really lengthen through the hand and the foot there, squeezing those glutes. You're going to challenge yourself to kind of stay in a nice long line. Okay. Good. Nice and flat. And again, you don't want to lift the leg too high and have it, because you don't want to be arching through through the back. Like when you do that, your back arches a little bit. So we want to still stay nice and short. Okay, and then relax. Shake those arms out, give your wrists a bit of a wriggle if you need to. Okay, so we're going to go onto our sides. We're going to go onto our spine twists. So I'm going to be on top of our shoulder, on top of the other shoulder, and hands together. You can put your cushion there if you need to. So this is where we're keeping our hips nice and still, and we're opening ourselves up, rotating round. On our exhale, inhale, hold, exhale, bring it back in again. Okay, inhale, hold, exhale, open out. Really twisting the torso as much as you can. And then we'll do one more. Keep those hips nice and still. And bring it back to the centre. Okay, your next one we're just going to add on to is we're going to do a semicircle. So you're going to lift your hand to that shoulder height and you're going to take it up, round, again, open all the way around. Shoulder, the arms are kind of parallel to the floor, and then round, back again. Okay. So this should give you a nice big old stretch. Still trying to keep our hips pretty still. They will move to a certain extent. But we're trying to get all the work kind of from your waist here. Lovely, and one more. Great mobility for your spine and for those shoulders. Okay. Excuse me. All right, take it onto our front. We're going to go into our breaststroke. We're going to either have your hands by your ears or down by your side, so you can do either of those options. So you're going to lengthen through those legs. We're breathing in, exhaling as we draw our shoulders down the back, and then inhale as we lower back down. This is all about feeling the length through the whole of the torso, through the back there. And as I say, you could do the hands by the side option if you wish. So we're exhaling as we lift, reach those fingers towards the toes, lower back down. Draw those abdominals in as well, so we're not pushing in with the lower spine. Lengthen through the legs. Somebody's pulling you by the hair. And you've got one last one. Lower it down. And then you're going to push your hands up, come into that shell stretch. So just arching through the back. Just take a couple of nice deep breaths there. Okay, and then we'll take it onto our backs again. So down here we're going to go into a one-leg circle. So you're going to lengthen your left leg along the mat, and then your right leg is coming up in the air. So we want to try and stay in a bit of a neutral position here. And the idea of this one is that we're stabilising around the pelvis here. So you're going to start by taking your leg over to the left and round in a circle, okay? So round. And what we're doing is, in terms of breath, is we're inhaling as we over, exhale as we circle back around. We pause and then we go again. So you can hold onto your hips here and just check that they're both staying nice and still and that we're not, obviously that's exaggerated, but you don't want the back of the pelvis to come off the mat, okay? And obviously it is harder the larger the circle, so if you feel like you're a bit unstable around here, then just do some little ones, okay? So all the way around, and then last one. Okay, keep that leg up there, you're going to go around the other way. As soon as that leg comes out though, this side's going to want to come up as well. So we've got to exhale and we're drawing those abdominals in again. So exhale. and then in. Exhale, then one last one. And then you're just going to grab that leg and you're just going to bring it in for a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Okay, so just take a few nice deep breaths. Lovely. All right. And then you're just going to bend that knee into the chest and then straighten it out. Bend that knee into the chest. So you're just kind of gently drawing that knee into the chest and then straightening it out so again you get that stretch on the hamstring. Okay, last one. Good. And then lengthen that leg along the ground. Take our other leg up in the air. We're going to take it clockwise, so over the other leg to start with. Inhale, and then exhale. Inhale, exhale. As I say, go a bit smaller if you need to, if you're feeling the wobble. Okay, I just want you to practice keeping that stability on the pelvis. Okay, whatever size of circle that means is fine. One last one. And then we're taking it outwards. So remember, exhale as we take it out. Good. Last one. And then you're going to grab that leg. Okay, and just pull it on in. Really good stretch. Okay. And then we're just going to do that little knee pull in and straighten out. Knee pull in and straighten out. Good. Lovely, one last one. And then lower it down, take both those legs in. Okay, and then from here we're going to go into some hundreds. Okay, so hundreds are an abdominal endurance exercise. Okay, so for this one we're just going to do the ab prep version of it, and then I'll introduce you to the full version as we go along. Okay, so we're in our neutral. All right, and then we've got our hands down by our sides. What we're going to do here is we're going to nod that head. We're going to lift up, and we've got our hands hovering here. And then what we're doing is we're breathing in, we're pumping our hands, and we're breathing in for a count of 5 and out for a count of 5, okay? And all of this time, we're drawing those abdominals in towards the spine. We're not pushing them back into the ground, okay? So drawing the abdominals in, keeping nice and active around the middle there. Now, this might feel a bit uncomfortable because obviously thing that's called hundreds, we're counting to 100. So we're counting 100 breaths. So you're going to, if you've got like a bit of a neck problem, like because it's quite a long time to hold your neck in that position, feel free to pop your hand behind your head and pump with the other hand and then just switch, okay? Or if you need to, obviously drop your head and then come back into it when you're ready. Okay, so I want you to get into that neutral position. Keeping those feet on the floor, we nod our head, we lift ourselves up, draw those shoulders down the back there, and we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 10, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 20, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 30. Keep those abdominals nice and flat. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 50, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 60, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 70, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 80, nearly there, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 90, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 100, and then lower yourself back down. Well done if you managed to get all the way there without having to lower down. As I say, the key there is just to keep those abdominals switched on and drawn in for that whole time, but to keep breathing. And what I would say is don't get hung up on the breathing. So obviously when I'm counting and I'm saying in for 5, if you're breathing out at that point, don't worry, it's just keep breathing, so it's just nice long breaths. So yes, don't worry too much that you're not in time with me or anything like that. Okay. All right, so from here we're going to go onto our sides again. We're going to go into some side kicks. So you're going to lengthen your torso out. You're going to be nice and long. Okay, we're going to just drop the bring those legs a little bit forward. Okay, so just a bit of a kind of banana shape now. Okay, so from here you're going to lift that top foot to hip height, and we're going to kick forward for 2. And then we're going to point as we bring that leg back in line with the torso. So not where the foot started, but taking it back so you get a glute work, okay? So we kick forward for 2, and then we take it back. And again, this is all about keeping that pelvic stability as well. Okay, so we're trying, we're not trying to get our leg right up to our nose or anything. Last one. Good. All right, and then you're going to take that top leg, pop it underneath, pop it over onto the floor. You can always put a cushion there if you wish, and you're going to flex your foot. You're going to lift and lower. Okay. So you've got your foot, your heel kind of higher than the toes, and we're lifting up, trying to get those in thighs. Okay. Go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Down. Okay, look. Okay, so whilst we're down here, we're going to go into a side bend. So for this one, I just want you to kind of sit upright. You've got your knees both on top of each other, and you've got your legs. Those legs are at right angles. What you're going to do is you're going to pop your foot over in front of the other one, and then, so I'm just on a bit of a funny angle with that. So you've got your foot, your bum, and then your hand are kind of in a line, okay? So it's just this knee sticking out. I hope that makes sense. It's a bit difficult to explain on video. So then you're going to have your other hand on your knee. And then what you're going to do is on your inhale, you're going to lift up onto the knee of that lower leg, and then lower back down again, okay? So we lift, and then we lower. Okay, so really pushing through that hand, pushing through that knee, and stretching over. Good. And just do one more on this side. Good. And then we'll switch over. So we'll take it into our side kicks to start with. So lying on the side. Okay, and then we're going to shuffle those feet a little bit further forward. Make sure everything's stacked on top of each other. Lift that foot, flex it, and push forward for 2, and then point back. Forward for 2, and point back. Lovely. And back. One more. And back. Lovely. And then drop that knee over, flex that foot, and we're lifting and going for that inner thigh. Good. Excellent. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then coming on up. Okay, again remembering that we've got our feet in line with our bum, and we've got that bit is our right angle. We've got our hand to the side, and we've got the legs in front. So when you're coming up, basically your hand and your feet and your hip are all in a straight line. Take it down. Inhale over, exhale down. And one more. Excellent. All right. And then we are going to go onto our front. So we're going to go into a bit of a Superman on the floor here. swimmer, we often call it in Pilates. So for this one, we've got our legs parallel, our arms parallel, and we're going to exhale as we lift opposite arm and leg. Okay, so we lift and we lower. So it's an exhale as we lift and lengthen, inhale down. So keep your head focused downwards. Okay, I'm just turning my head to the side so that you can see me and you can hear me. But I want you to keep your head looking down, and your head is in line with the arm that's lifting. Okay, so lift and lengthen. You're drawing those abdominals in as well. Lovely. And one last one. Hands to the chest, push yourself back into that shell stretch, or child's pose, whichever one you fancy. Okay, all right, and then our last exercise we're going to go into is our press up. Okay, so on all fours. So obviously, if you're generally used to fitness, you'll probably be okay doing your kind of half press-ups or your full press-ups even. But if you're completely new to this, then please do try these ones, your box press-ups. So you're going to have your fingers all splayed, all spread out, shoulders away from the ears, and your knees are just underneath your hip bones. And we're going to inhale as we take our weight forward, and then exhale as we push back up again. So you're not trying to bend, going like that. We're tilting the body and coming back up again. Okay. Now you don't need to get your nose right to the ground and then push up. Just do what you can do. Just if it goes just to there, then please just go to there. That's fine. But I just want you to just use the in-breath and that tilt to get you forward. Okay, you're going to work the upper body a lot more by tilting your body than you are by just bending at the waist. Okay, and I want you to think about pushing through with your little finger, because that kind of travels all the way up and hits your kind of serratus anterior, which is what helps stabilize your shoulders. So it can often take the weight out of your wrists and takes it more to your shoulders, so you don't have quite as much pressure on the wrists. Okay, and one last one for me. Push it back up again. Lovely. Okay, and you might want to just have a little bit of a wrist roll there. Shake those wrists out. Okay, and you are done for session 2. So I hope you enjoyed that one, and that it wasn't too much of a huge step up from the first one, where it was very much kind of the warm-up and learning the principles. But I hope you learned some of the good exercises with this one today. And we will take it on even further next week.